What is hydropower? Hydropower is energy that comes from the force of moving water. It's called a renewable energy source because the water on Earth is continuously replenished by precipitation. History of hydropower. Hydropower has been used for centuries. In the early 18th, American and European factories used the water wheel to power machines. The water wheel is a simple machine. That energy can then be used to grind grain, drive sawmills, or pump water. In the late 19th century, the force of falling water was used to generate electricity. By the late 1940s, the best sites for V-dams had been developed. Inexpensive flood plants also entered the picture. At that time, plants burning coal or oil could make electricity more cheaply than hydro plants. Hydro dams. It is easier to build a hydropower plant where there is a natural waterfall. Dams are built on rivers where the terrain will produce an artificial lake or reservoir above the dam. A dam serves two purposes at a hydropower plant. First, a dam increases the height of the water. Second, it controls the flow of water.
Hi, my name is Cesar Valle and I will talk about hydropower plants. Hydropower plants. As people discovered centuries ago, the flow of water represents a huge supply of kinetic energy that can be put to work. Water wheels are useful for generating motion energy to grind grain or saw wood, but energy are not practical for generating electricity. Water wheels are too bulky and slow. Hydroelectric plants are different. They use modern turbine generators to produce electricity, just as thermal, coal, natural gas, nuclear power plants do, except they do not produce heat to spin the turbines. How hydropower plants works? A typical hydropower plant is a system with three parts. Number one, a power plant where the electricity is produced. Number two, a dam that can be opened or closed to control water flow. And finally, a reservoir that is the artificial lake where water can be stored. To generate electricity, a dam opens its gates to allow water from the reservoir above to flow down through the large tubes called penstocks. At the bottom of the penstocks, the fast-moving water spins the blades of turbines. The turbines are connected to generators to produce electricity, and the electricity is then transported via huge transmission lines to a local utility company. Now, I will talk about head and flow. The amount of electricity that can be generated at a hydro plant is determined by two factors, head and flow. Head is how far the water drops of the reservoir, and flow is how much water moves through the system. Now, storing energy. One of the biggest advantages of hydropower plant is its ability to storage energy. The water in a reservoir is, after all, stored energy. Water can be stored in a reservoir and released when needed for electricity production. Storage also makes it possible to save water from winter rains for generating power during the summer. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Marta Rolón. I will talk about the pumped storage system. A pumped storage system operates much like a public fountain does. The same water is used again and again. At pumped storage hydropower plant, flowing water is used to make electricity is needed. The water may be pumped back to an upper pool. Pumping water to the upper pool requires electricity, so hydro plants usually use pumped storage systems only when there is big demand for electricity. Pumped hydro is the most reliable energy storage systems used by American electric utilities. Depending the amount of rainfall, hydro plants produce from 5 to 10% of the electricity produced in the US.
Hydropower for base load power. Demand for electricity is not stable. It's gone up and down. People using more electricity during the day when they are awake and using electrical appliances, and less at night when they are asleep. People also using more electricity in the USA, and the fuel supply following water is always available. Economics of hydropower. Hydropower is the cheap way to generate electricity today. No other energy source, remember, renewable or no renewable, can watch it today costs less than 1 cent per kilowatt to produce electricity at typical hydro plant.